Hello everyone and welcome back to Neighbor's Advice. Today I'm going to be showing you how to replace a diaphragm on a Chizen when your toilet has given up. I don't know if you have days like I do, but I seem to go around the house just like endlessly fixing things. If one thing breaks, the next thing will break, and it's just I just go from one job to the next. So today I went to use my toilet, and the handle over the last few days, it was, it started, you ever have that when you're trying to flush it and you have to kind of crank it to get it to really work, and then it flushes? That is a sign that the internal diaphragm of your Chizen, this thing that I'm going to be showing you, has given up. But rather than go out and have to purchase this whole unit, and more importantly, the real pain is getting inside this toilet here and having to dismantle it, take off this, the whole pan, drain the water, do everything, when in fact it could be a very quick and simple operation. So I'm going to take you through it. I'm going to just show you what is actually going wrong with this unit and how simple it is for you just to DIY for pennies to put it back together again, okay? So here's the toilet that I've got, which gave up. As I said, you'll find that you're having to almost like force the flush, and then eventually it'll flush, whoosh, and the water will work as normal. What you've got is, you've got this unit inside. Now, my first thing I want to point out is really important when you're purchasing these. What's really good to do is to find ones that have this, so you can disconnect it. What's important is you can see that there's a standpipe, there's a pipe that goes up that gets fixed to the bottom of this. This is called a low flush unit. So in order to get in there to replace this bit, or more importantly, the whole unit if I had to, or just get the unit out, I'd have to take this off, these screws off, take this pan off, take the water off, drain it, just to get this off, to then go underneath and unscrew the nut that's holding this in place. What's wonderful about this design is, as you can see, all I do is I unscrew that and it comes off here, and then all I need to do is just slide this up and out. Now I've got the unit out, and the water's still in, I don't have to drain anything. It's really quick and easy. So if you can, try to find that type of unit. Sometimes they have them fixed, and if they have it fixed, then you won't be able to do that if it's all one complete unit, okay? So that's it. Now the culprit, the problem with this unit and why it's doing that is because underneath you got this little piece of plastic. And believe it or not, this is the guts. This is the main operation of your unit, and it will give up. And I'll show you why. So in order to take it apart, you've got this here, and I'm trying to video and do this with one hand. But basically we're going to pull this up because there's a spring inside there, which allows, obviously, as you're flushing, it's pulling it up, yeah? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this off. So bear with me while I try to do this with one hand. Okay, now I've taken it off and we can release it. This will allow it here. And all we have to do now is just pull this out. It's as simple as that. Okay. So now we pull this out and you can see what's inside. And you can see this little piece of plastic diaphragm. Now what this is it's under constant pressure, because as you're cranking your toilet, this diaphragm is keeping pressure inside and is flushing and flowing, and allows for the siphon effect for the water to kind of flow over, okay? But obviously it's under a great deal of tension because it's constantly pushing water up and down.
And so what happens is it breaks. This is not fancy. This is nothing special. All this is like a damp-proof membrane type of plastic, which, you know, you can pick up anywhere. And then what you do is you just cut it to size. You see? You can purchase these already pre-cut and ready to go, and they're still not expensive. In the UK, they're only about, 20, £1.25, something like that. But what you do is you just pull this off. You take off this retaining little piece of plastic here, which is keeping this diaphragm in place. Just be careful, don't break it. Pull that off. Then what you can do is you can use this as a template, cut yourself a new piece, and just place it back in place. Put it all back together, put it back inside your toilet, and you're ready to go. It's as simple as that, and it's cost you nothing. But the manufacturers want you, obviously, to purchase this whole unit, which could cost anywhere between £5 up to £20, depending on the model that you choose. When you've made your template, cut a few extra ones, because believe me, in time this will start to go again, and it's really nice to have a few just lying around that you can then put back again for this. This unit is just going to go for years and years and years to go, because you can see all the parts. There's hardly anything within this unit to actually fall apart except for this flimsy piece of plastic, okay? And that's it. So hopefully that will give you some indication of what it is you can do to try and save yourself some money and time.
When releasing this, use an end of a flat bit of a knife and stick it underneath, and then slowly use pressure, because just at this point there's a tiny little piece of plastic which sticks out, holding this piece of this plastic washer down. I'll just pull it off, and then that way I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. You can see little teeny bits here like this, which are sticking up. This is what traps this in place, pushes it down and keeps it in place. So what you can do without stressing or breaking it is you can take your flat end of a knife and then slowly just push it like that. I'll show you what it looks like when it's taken off, but you can see that's what's holding down the actual diaphragm, this piece of plastic here. So there are the pieces now taken apart. So as you can see, you've got your retaining washer, which will hold the diaphragm down onto this unit. You can see that it's ripped, and this is the piece that's so important to your flushing mechanism. If you find that you're taking your hand and you're trying to crank the handle and pump the water so that it finally flushes, it's because it's pumping and pumping. Of course, you have no pressure because this is now ripped, so it's not doing the siphon effect. So if you do find that, this is just the piece. This is what you need to replace. And again, this is nothing special. It's just really a piece of damp-proof membrane cut to size will be fine. And you can put it all back together and you'll be okay. So here are your components again. This is the old broken diaphragm. Here's the new one, now in situ. This is what it looks like when you can either make one, or you can go online and you can purchase these for as little as about £1. So just buy a few of these and have them in store. That way, if it ever happens again, you can just replace this. This is your little plastic ring now. It's holding it in place. Yeah. These holes are supposed to be there. It allows for the water to flow through. This is just creating like a siphon effect. This goes back on. Obviously, let's put our spring back on to show you exactly. So there's your spring. There's what the bottom looks like. It's going to go through there. That will line up. you go. And this just pushes through. Once you've got that in place, you'll use your pull ring to catch like a hook through here, which keeps that in place. And yeah, and then we'll just reassemble. I'll show you a little bit later how it works when it's in situ. On this particular model, it has two little slots just there, two little grooves in order to slot on either side. So when you're fixing it or you're pulling it out, be careful, because what you're going to do is go to an angle, you're going to line those up, and then you'll push it down. And that's what holds this unit to this unit here. And as I said earlier, what's fantastic about this unit is that you don't have to take this off in order to replace that piece I've just shown you. And there you have it. It's all put back together. And now, if you do that, the siphon works and it's doing what it's supposed to do. So that's it. That's all it takes. And it'll only cost you £1. So there you go. That's another job done. And now on to the next job.